hygiene has been just messed up, but it's okay. I actually am able to catch some naps. But that's neither here nor there. So today, let me raise this up. Oh, I want it to be like this. All right, here we are. So today, last night I was thinking about this book, and I started this a while ago, and it just kind of got buried under something. And I guess I had seen somewhere where somebody had pulled together a little art journal of faces, and that's something that I love practicing. And this was at a stage when I was practicing little eyes, which I kind of like, but I also like big eyes. Was this the one? This is where I did this. I worked on this over the weekend. This one. But I think I like big eyes on the animals more than I like it on the people. I mean, because for some reason, I think the big eyes are more intimate. And I feel like, especially when I put them on creatures, there's something about it that makes the animals seem more human, like they have personality. Um, and I noticed that in this book with the little eyes, that it's kind of like when you people watch and you see strangers, that you're more checking out the different, like the way they carry themselves, maybe their outfits, and it's not as intimate. And I feel like working with the little eyes is that way. And I remembered looking at this one um, face that I had made a long time ago, but when I reconnected with this book, it was interesting how geometric everything was, how graphic and exact, which makes sense because I'm trained to be a graphic designer. That's what I was in a former life. That's what I went to school for. It's something that I've always have with me. Is everything I look at is through graphic design eyes. So, part of me wants to go back and revisit this, and complete this whole journal just with faces. And maybe this is something that I travel. It's a perfect little tiny size, and I can quickly get, just even bring like a fountain pen or a sketch pen, a pencil, and just quickly sketch people that I see um out and about as inspiration, then go back and play with the colors as color blocks. But in this book, it's interesting because I do the color blocking with uh, water soluble crayons, which I love. I even have, let's see if I pull it out. I have this huge, maybe that's what I'll play with today. I have this gigantic tin of water soluble crayons. I'm going to put this aside. I thought I was going to talk about this. I don't think I am. So this is, I invested in this a long time ago, and I didn't regret this purchase at all. It was expensive, and I love this set. I don't regret it one bit. And I love water soluble crayons because, as you can see here, once I scratch it in there, then I go back in with a paintbrush, and it becomes, it becomes ink. So I think I want to play with the color blocking on this. I thought about doing that in gouache, because when I did, maybe I am going to go back to this. When I did this piece in the gouache, I've been trying to get back to working with gouache a little bit because I do like the matte finish on it, and that it can act like a watercolor, but it also, it has a bit of more of an opaqueness to it. So I definitely want to revisit that, but I feel like, I like this gouache set a lot. I really do. But I also have some tubes of gouache, and I think I need to set up a little palette of that. And I want to say that I have this palette for my watercolors, but I want something similar for my gouache. And I do have this palette. This is, well, it was blank. I think this, and I'm pretty sure that this is not gouache. I'm pretty sure that this is watercolor. But I can wash that out and put some gouache in there. And that actually makes this a little bit more on the go. And I can just commit to a handful of colors and work inside this book. Or I can even go smaller and use my half pans and stick it in a different container altogether. I have some Altoid tins that are perfect for a little travel setup. But okay, that's neither here nor there. I can work on that at some other point. Today, it needs to be a little more quick and simple. Because actually this week I've got a lot of spinning and listing to do. So I've got a shop update going live. So I'm just going to keep it simple, work in this little book for a minute, and maybe put together, let's see, I have this little travel case. And I feel like I can fill this, put this book in there, put some put some supplies in there, and have a little case on the go for doing this type of thing. So actually, you know what? I'm going to try it out with this set. I love this set, but these are my woodies, and this is already ready to go as far as travel goes. So let me play with that and see if I'm digging those colors right now, because then if not, then I can pull together a different set. But what I would put in my travel case probably would be this, one of these fountainy pens. These are my art pens. This one I think I put sparkly ink in it, which I'm not mad at. But this one I feel like that one smears a bit. Well, I don't know. Let me see. I don't think this ink is wash fast or water soluble. Let me check. Yeah, that smears a little bit. All right. I think this one, I love this pen. I'll let that dry for a minute. And then this, what did I put in here? Oh, I think I put some kind of blue in this. I could always switch it out for a black. I got that. Oh, no, wait. This is gray? This is gray. All right, let's see if that's... You see that? This would be the best solution because that's waterproof. And actually this ink looks like it might be waterproof as well. No, it's bleeding just a little bit, but it's not smearing. Okay, yeah, that's good information. All right, so I would pick one of these to put into the case. And this is where I'd travel and maybe go to the coffee shop and I would also put a pencil in. So probably this mechanical pencil. And probably a kneaded eraser. Let's see. I think I have a kneaded eraser in here. Oops. I have a bunch of old, actually, I like these white erasers. And this is probably a million years old because this is one of my favorite art supplies. I know that people use kneaded erasers, but when I was in graphic design, I was always about the white erasers because I feel like the white erasers cleaned up better, even though, I mean, it got rid of the line much better, but you still had you had eraser dust, which that's okay. I'm okay with brushing that off. But the kneaded eraser, you wouldn't get the brush line. I mean the eraser dust. But I don't feel like kneaded erasers clean up as well. All right, so this would be my art kit to travel and do and work on these faces. So I'm going to set that up because now that the weather's nice, I can find a little outdoor patio and probably in a busy part of town and just people watch and sketch people. So anyway, that's where I'm at. But today I'm going to go back through and do some colors on some of these. Just to see if I want to do a set of Neo colors, just pick up a few and put them in a tin and take them with me. Or if I want to use these big fat woodies, which I love, to do this test. So, see, I feel like I get limited by the colors, but I don't know that that's a bad thing. All right, let's start with, I'm going to start with the moon. And actually, I feel like I need to go back through and tighten up that line a little bit. Because I did tighten up, except for what is going on with her hair right here. Let me try. Oh, and what I would also need to put in that set is a watercolor brush, which is right here. So I have these, let me cap this. I have these brushes that have the water reservoirs built in. And I would probably bring a couple of those to be able to activate the crayons, and then that way I could ooh, well, this one's leaking. That's not good. Oh yeah, I want a wide one. And would want a wide one and a fine one. This is a good size fine one. I need to fill both of those up though. Oh, I do like that one though. Okay, so I bring those watercolor brushes. I'd bring probably also a little fine brush. Let's see, probably something like this. What's this one? Those are the same. Okay, like a dry fine brush. That maybe like a little piece of rag to wipe things off. Anyway, so this would be my kit that I would travel with to go in here. All right, enough of that. We're getting back to this. But I was in the middle of fixing this line. Right here, her. I know I've talked about confident lines before, and I just don't feel like some of these are as confident as they could be. So I'm fixing that with this big brush pen. Yeah, I feel like, and then well, let's see. I think I'm going to leave her. I'm going to definitely go back and do the shirt though. And then leave the smaller sketchy lines. Yeah, there we go. All right. See, it's always interesting because when I look at this on my iPad, because I have my iPad turned on so I can catch comments, and when I look at it on my iPad, it's much better for me to see it like it's like standing back and looking, because my looking right now with being right on top of it is totally different than if I stood back and looked. Okay, and I want her hair to be, I think I want her hair to be orange. Well, I mean redhead, but not this red, like Bozo the Clown. No, I want it to be more. Wow, that's not the color I was expecting, but okay. Maybe I'll mix that with something else. I'm just kind of not trying to get full ink coverage with this go because I'm going to go back in with my water brush and uh, fill in the spaces a little bit better. The thing I kind of like about this one is I can see some of the like sketchier lines in there, like with her hair, but I have some more definitive lines. But I do like a little bit of that sketchy bit. So I'm leaving that, sketchy bit for some of this area. And I think I'm hoping that's gonna work out fine. That is pretty freaking orange. Okay, I want to go back and tone that down just a hair. And I want to do it with, actually, I want to put some gold in with this yellow because I want that to be a sparkly moon. Okay, but with her hair, let's do I want it gold? I don't know if that's going to show up. I feel like there's too much on there. So what I'm going to do is get my wide water. I don't have a lot of water in there. Let me use one that I have water in. All right, I'm going to go with this one. That has no water too. Okay, we're going to go with this one. All right, what I think. Hey, Teresa, what pens you use on it? Now the base, like the smaller sketchy line, I want to say that I just used like a Sharpie, but I don't think it was this one that was so wide. I feel like it was a thinner one. This is a 0.7, and I think I used a 0.5. And then I went back through to make that fat line with this Pentel brush pen. And I've used this on several of my pieces. I'll put a link in the comments. I love this pen. It takes these ink cartridges and it's like a fountain pen, but it's a brush tip, and I want to say it's made for Japanese calligraphy. And then these are Stabilo woody crayons that I got. One of the mixed media groups sent out an alert. This was a couple of years ago, and I want to say it was one of the art supply companies. It was either Cheap Joe's or Jerry's Artorama, I think, had these on sale for $7, and they're normally like $80. And I think it was a fluke because That's quite the discount. And so I bought two. I gave one to one of my friends and I kept the other one. And I love these. They're so creamy. And they're water soluble, so I can go back in and the paint is awesome. So, and I'm trying to decide if I want to use these or my Neo colors, which I love, but I've got this gigantic tin of them, and that's not feasible to, like, grab this and go to the coffee shop, which is kind of what I want to do, is to take this people watching with me and just go sit somewhere and sketch. Um, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I could take some, if this, I mean, and this seems to be working out just fine. But I think I want to take this set with me and go out and do a little of this sketching. So what I think I do is I'll, like, do a quick outline of a face and then flesh in a little more detail with the pen and then go in and fill in the color. And I had thought about doing this with gouache because gouache can be nice and flat, but acts like a watercolor, so it's kind of easy to manipulate, but it's not as transparent. It's a little more opaque. Um, but I'm thinking the crayons might be easier, especially if I can just use this watercolor pen. Maybe I'll bring both. That's an idea. Just kind of limit my palette. Just get like either a smaller palette or use a couple of Altoid tins and put some half pans in there, and then that way I can have both if I need it. That actually is probably what I'll do. And then I'll put it in a little case like this. And this, I have these little cases that are perfect for, taking to the coffee shop and doing some work, doing some artwork, some journaling. So anyway. I forgot to color inside her earrings. Wait, that's not the right color, is it? Yes, that's the right color. Okay. But I don't want her to have such orange hair. And I think I want to go over it maybe with a gold. Nope, that's not going to show up much. I'm going to go over it with a little brown, make it more like an auburn color. But I'm going to do it in circles in case you start to see the lines. And then I'll just mix that in a little bit. Yeah, that's better. There we go. So then I'll go back in and, oh, that's perfect. Yeah, to kind of sadden that orange so it's not so vibrant, even though maybe it wasn't so bad that it was vibrant. I like this lighter color better, much better. And I'm kind of sticking with the circle because I want to indicate curly hair. And so when this dries, if you're seeing the brush strokes, it's gonna show the curly hair. There we go. Yay. All right. Much better. Loving it. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. Oh, and I wanted to do let me go back and do this. This is, I added some gold to it to try and give it a little sheen. Okay. Let's do her shirt in this brilliant blue, and that's because it's in contrast to the orange and the yellow. Okay. And then I've got this kind of fleshy pink. And I'm going to go through and just add a light coloring of this. Because then I'm going to go back through and add some kind of highlighty kind of thing. Let's give her some silver hoops. All right. First, before I add that other layer, let's start with oh, that's yellow. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Blend it in. I tend to always paint women. That's one thing when I go out to do some coffee shop sketching. I think I want to try and do men because I'm kind of out of practice with that. Okay, so I want to add some details. I'm wondering if that is bleeding through. No, it is not. Okay, good. Um, let's give her a little bit red lip. Give her some pink cheeks. And I also want to add a little shadow under her chin. I'm going to do it in brown. It's not an ideal color, but I think it'll be okay. Maybe not. Let's add a little purple to that, maybe. Make the shadow a little cooler. Where's my what? Oh, right here. Okay. Okay. We go fix her shirt a little bit. Yay! There's that. Now I'm gonna do the background in this kind of dark purple. I'm just gonna rough it in a little bit and then go back with my brush. There we go. All right. I'm going to do that, and then I might go back and add some detail around her. So here we go. Oops, that's blue. I'm okay with that. Leave that little bit of white halo around that, which kind of makes it seem glowy to me. So I kind of like that. I was gonna add like a dark highlight. Well, let's say highlight, and it's dark. A kind of like a shadow around her, but maybe it's that I'll leave it like the moon. That I think might be better. Yeah, I definitely want to leave that light because that purple also feels in contrast to this bluish. This bluish purple feels in contrast to that orange. All right, so I want to go not all the way to the edge here. There we go. I guess some areas it's going to touch the edge, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I guess I have to be, but I'm not mad at it. Here we go. Yay. All right. There's one. There we have it. Okay. So I think I want this to be not as deep right through there. There we go. There we go. Much better. All right. So there we have. You see, I could probably touch this up all day long. All right. I'm putting the pen down. Wait, let me smooth this out. All right. Putting the pen down. All right. There we have it. That's it for today. So one more day, y'all. Tomorrow's the last day of the 30-day art journal challenge. And it's so I don't know what I'm going to do today, but I would like to go back through the pages and kind of take inventory about what art journaling for a solid month looked like. Um, so there we have it. All right, enjoy your day. I will see you guys tomorrow, probably in the morning. Talk to you later.